I'm not gonna waste your time. This is the full guide on how to win any 1v1 in lacrosse and make defenders look like NPCs. But if you're a defender watching this, grab a piece of paper and take notes, because this is how you'll get embarrassed. But let's rewind and start with the basics. Watch this clip and tell me what went wrong, because the midfielder is about to make two major mistakes. And no, it's not that he forgot to stretch. It's actually way worse. The first mistake was that he ignored the space on the field. He went with a pre-planned dodge to the left when the entire right side of the field is wide open. And he ended up running into his teammate. What the heck, man? But why did he do this? Well, he made the common mistake of forcing a pre-planned dodge. And pre-planning kills creativity. When you try to force something in lacrosse, it rarely works out. Most of the time, it's better to react on the fly. Look at the best players in the world, like Jeff Teat, Lyle Thompson, or Pat Spencer. They don't play like robots, they play on instinct. And that's what makes them unreadable, constantly keeping the defender guessing, while at the same time reacting and adjusting based on what the defender gives them. It's like water flowing in and out of a defense. And that's the beauty of lacrosse, because they're not the biggest, strongest, or even the fastest. Yet they destroy every defense while being matched against their best defender. And that's because of their lacrosse instincts. But don't just take it from me, take it from Lyle Thompson, who said, "We chose Albany because of the way they play lacrosse. Fast and kind of this freelance way of lacrosse that Miles and I have played our entire lives. We brought back the fun in lacrosse." Or Conor McGregor, who said, "I move in many ways. I can adapt to any situation. I flow." Or Lionel Messi, who said, "I never think about the game or visualize anything. I do what comes to me in the moment. Instinct. It has always been that way." As you can see, instinct transcends all sports. However, I can't just tell you to trust your instincts, because if you struggle with one-on-ones, your instincts are probably trash. Instead, think of yourself like a video game. You don't just start out with maxed out stats, you have to level them up. And I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that for your instincts. But first, here's the second mistake this midfielder made, and it goes a bit deeper. It's obvious that he forced his move to the left because he's not comfortable dodging to his right hand. So in a situation where the entire right side of the field is available to him, he still went to the left, which is pretty crazy, but it's because he didn't practice his right hand enough. In order to adapt, react, and flow like the best players in lacrosse, your fundamentals need to be on point. Otherwise, you're leaving goals on the field. But that's why I'm gonna show you 5 simple steps that take your lacrosse instincts from average to S tier. And step 1 is to make your fundamentals elite. That means catching, throwing, and switching hands. Because before we get flashy, we gotta be comfortable with the basics. Otherwise, in a 1v1, defenders are going to prey on your weak hand like a shark in blood-infested waters. So practice wall ball as consistently as possible. And I know every coach says this, but it's true, because the goal is to build muscle memory. Once you have muscle memory, you won't have to think about catching or throwing. It comes like second nature on the field. And this is when your instincts can begin to take over. Even my boy Paul Rabel agrees with me, because he said, sport is a combination of math and art. The math is your fundamentals, then you can unlock your creative flow and paint outside the lines. And that takes us to step 2, which is to choose 3 dodges that match your style and position. Most players make the mistake of adding a ton of dodges to their routine. They spend hours watching Mikey Sowers highlights, hoping it'll rub off on them. But the best players, if you watch them closely, become great at 2 to 3 dodges. Rob Pennell became the best player in the world from the question mark dodge. Jordan Wolf won a championship with the speed dodge. And Miles Jones became one of the most dominant midfielders of all time with the face and bull dodge. So your job is to master just 3 moves. Not 10, not 5, just 3. And it's the 3 moves that fit your playing style and position the best. Let's say you're a big midfielder who loves to take on defenders. Your 3 dodges could be the face dodge, split dodge, and the bull dodge. But let's say you're a small, shifty attackman. Then your 3 dodges could be the roll dodge, the question mark dodge, and the inside roll. The point is to pick just 3 and specialize by practicing them over and over and over again until they become instinctual. Bruce Lee said, "I fear not the man who practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced 1 kick 10,000 times." Let that sink in, because the next time you practice, it's better to focus on 1 to 3 moves for hours instead of dozens of moves for a few minutes each. And the best lacrosse players in the world talk about this often too. Paul Rabel said, "You don't need 20 dodges. You need 2 or 3 that you can execute at a high level, over and over again. I always tell younger players, find your signature move and get nasty with it. You want it to feel automatic. Matt Rambo said, "I'm not a flashy guy. I stick to what works. Split and roll, done right, is all you need." And Rob Pennell said, "It's not about having a million moves. It's about knowing exactly when to use the right one and make it count." So once you pick 3 dodges, move on to step 3, which is to practice them at maximum intention. Meaning, pretend that a defender is on you and practice your dodge at game speed. Look at how Mikey Sowers trains, full speed, and focused on technique with maximum intention. It's not an accident he's one of the best players in the world. He's not lazily going through the motions. That's just a waste of time. Instead, he's training his body to know one speed, and that's game speed. And this is a common mistake beginners make. They jog through a dodge and hang their stick. And then when it comes to a game, can't win a 1v1. So when practicing on your own, pick 3 dodges and hammer them over and over again with maximum intention. Full speed while focusing on technique. And after weeks of doing this, you'll become one of the most dangerous players on your field. But that brings us to step 4, which is explore creativity. Lyle Thompson, Jeff T, and Connor Fields are perfect examples of guys who play with creativity and instinct, reacting to defenders instead of forcing pre-planned dodges. But how did they develop this? One common story is that they frequently played lacrosse in the backyard, goofing around, shooting behind the back, and exploring their creativity. This is essential for improving your instincts because you can unlock new skills you never knew existed. For example, Lyle Thompson popularized the backhanded shovel shot. Before him, this shot was extremely rare and actually frowned upon as bad technique. But Lyle scored so many goals this way, it completely changed the sport because defenders couldn't defend it and goalies couldn't save it. So he racked up dozens of goals with this unstoppable new shot. And nowadays, we see this shot every game in the PLL because everyone adopted it. Same thing with backhanded shots, and we're starting to see it with whatever the heck Connor Fields is doing. But this only happens through creativity. It's not a pre-planned move. Most of the time, their hands get freed up in a tight situation and they use what the defender gives them to their advantage. So get in the backyard and just have fun. Which brings us to the last step. Take everything you learned and apply it to pickup games with friends, in sixes, and in box lacrosse. This is the most important of the steps because what we did before is like sharpening the sword blade but not going into battle with it. This quote sums up what I mean. Only a fool would charge into battle with a dull blade, but a bigger fool would be someone constantly sharpening his blade and never going into battle. The whole point of all this training is to apply it and get feedback from the real world, but we don't want to wait to apply it for the first time in an actual regular season game. We want to apply it in practice. So grab some friends who are defenders and practice one-on-ones against them. It's better to fail in front of them when no one's watching instead of failing in a game when everyone's watching. And in the off season, you want to play sixes, which is 6v6, or box lacrosse, which is indoor lacrosse. Box lacrosse is quickly becoming one of the best ways to improve your lacrosse instincts because of its fast pace and tight spaces where you are forced to react quickly and improve your stick skills. Ever wonder why Canadians are always so good? They can't even practice outside most of the year because it's so dang cold. It's because they play a ton of box lacrosse, taking their stick skills and lacrosse instincts to the next level. We even see top American talent like Joey Spallina spend his summers playing box lacrosse instead of the outdoor game. And it's not just him. Casey Powell said, "I knew that if I wanted to be one of the best players in the world, I would have to dedicate myself to both the indoor and outdoor game. Playing indoor lacrosse has been a great thing for my career." And Paul Rabel said, "Being a part of the finesse and physicality of box lacrosse has been a great experience for me. I feel that I have learned and improved as an overall lacrosse player. Learning to adapt in tight space while reading defenders and offensive players has been the biggest improvement in my game. So while it may be uncomfortable at first, do anything that forces you into tight spaces where you have to use your instincts, because this is how you truly level up. Not by knowing more, not by watching more, but by doing more." And if you want to know which 3 dodges to focus on so you can win any 1v1 in lacrosse, click this video right here, the 10 best lacrosse dodges that make you unguardable. We dive into roll dodges, split dodges, and dodges you never even heard of. It's the perfect next step to take if you want to level up your game. So click this video right here and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.